I've been lied to my whole life, and it's really, really, really embarrassing.
You mean to tell me that it didn't have to be like this?
Hey, so welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into today's video. So hello lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where there is a lot of crying in paradise. I decided to put up some stitches by who we're talking about on how they actually feel so disappointed and feel that they have been lied to for so many years and decades. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
Oh, really? Please stay for this, because I've reached the part in this whole class consciousness part where I'm just filled with the most impotent rage, and I'm talking that white hot I need to sink my teeth into something and scream kind of rage. Because what do you mean that it never had to be this hard for us? What do you mean in other countries they don't have to spend 20% of their paycheck on groceries? What do you mean in other countries everyone can own homes because they're not paying $2,000 a month in rent, or that their mortgages aren't their entire paycheck? What do you mean that people in China work one job and they don't even work 40 hours and they can easily afford their life? And then I'm over here working 60 hours a week, just me as a single parent, to barely make ends meet, and I'm penny pinching every single second, and there's so much of life that my kid misses out on and that I miss out on because of money and work and no social support net. And you mean to tell me that it didn't have to be like this? They keep us in these chains on purpose, and it never had to be like this. I did everything right. I went to college. I had to drop out of college to take care of my mom when she was sick because, again, no social services, no safety nets. My dad worked his whole life and died and left everything to my mom. My mom was disabled, and she lived on credit, and she barely made ends meet, and she did everything she was supposed to, and I did everything I was supposed to, and it just keeps getting worse. It was never supposed to be like this, and I'm so angry that it is. Because what do you mean? I've spent so much of my life working so hard to scrape by, and it never had to be like that. My suffering was at the expense of someone else becoming wealthy because they could. And I am so angry about this. It can't stay like this. It doesn't have to stay like this. Please stay.
I've been lied to my whole life, and it's really, really, really embarrassing to be an American right now. It's really painful to know how much of my life has been wasted, and how much money has been wasted and taken from me. And I'm traveling now outside of the United States, and I'm realizing how much better it is elsewhere. And I've only been to a couple countries and different cities so far, but I also am realizing how much we were lied to about China. And I know that we've been told they're our enemy, and yet we have so many products from them in our homes in America. But it's people around the world can afford to live and enjoy their lives in a lot of countries. And in America, we can't. That's why I left. I couldn't afford to live there and not work 7 days a week. And I have been out of the country since September, and I am living comfortably. And I'm not running out of money unless the government decides to take some money from me. I'm okay. But I'm embarrassed. I'm really shattered and really disappointed. And people ask me where I'm from, and so far I've told people where I'm from, but I always cringe inside, and I'm like, I don't want them to know this. And most people know I'm American anyway, just looking at me. A lot of them say, oh, English? But I haven't said I'm from Canada just because it's hard for me to lie. But I always cringe, and I've met some people who've said, oh, I want to go to America. And all I can think is, oh my God, don't. Just don't. And I'm looking forward to going to China. I was going to go in the fall. It looks like it might be 2026 now. We'll see. But I want to visit it in person. It's absolutely beautiful. I realize that one of the things that's really struck me is, we're waking up. We're waking up even more, and there is no going back from this. Now that so many people have discovered Red Note, and it's all over TikTok now, until they take that away from us, it's just really, it's uplifting because so many more people are waking up to how much we were lied to about China. And yes, I know China has issues as well, but I'm grateful for that because there's no going back. We can't go back now. And the government can't lie to us anymore. And we're just going to say, oh, okay, they've lost control of us. And going forward, we're not going to go back to just being subservient and saying, yeah, okay, well, this is the way it is. And this is, we have to do these things and we have to obey. And there's no going back. And that's the beauty of this. There's no going back now. They can take Red Note away from us. That can be destroyed. We'll find another way. But we have communicated enough on TikTok, and we're communicating enough on Red Note now. Thank God that our eyes are wide open to how much we've been robbed, literally robbed of all our money. And, it's not a quick solution. We've done a lot in a few days, and I'm really, really grateful for that. I'm on Red Note, and I'm going to stay there, and I'm going to continue my travels, and my eyes are going to open even wider. And, I hope that one day I can proudly say, yes, I'm from America. I want to live long enough to be able to proudly say, yes, I'm from the new America, the really free America. And I know it's going to happen. I just hope I live long enough to see it. That's all I got to say right now.
Well, I gotta tell you something. We have been fed so much bullshit. You really need to go and sign up for Red Note. Just go and peruse the site. It's mind-blowing. The kindness, the generosity that the Chinese people are showing to the Americans who come on there, the way they're welcoming them. Yes, they're asking them to follow the guidelines of their app, which is standard practice. But when you start looking at what you see on Red Note versus what the governments have been handing us for propaganda and bullshit, My God, man. I spent a couple hours just going through the site, and really, it's worth the time for you to just sign up, go onto the site, and you don't even have to set up a full account to go and look. But, like, the amount of money that they have to spend on groceries, for example, is peanuts compared to what we pay here in Canada, and I'm sure the same in the U.S. It's like night and day. Their world there is so much better than the way they portray it. They're not a repressed people. They're intelligent. They're not what they try and tell us, that they are evil. China, 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 as Trump would say. Go have a look. Seriously, you're going to get a rude awakening about the truth and the propaganda that we've been hand-fed for years, that China's our enemy. They're not our enemy. Our enemy are the people who sit in those fancy chairs in Congress and Senates and politicians. The rich, the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world, the people who hand us BS. I have to say that I got an education in the last 24 hours, just going through that site, watching various videos. Now, it's not TikTok. It's more of it's slightly different than TikTok, but it's good. And it's unbelievable to see how many people will welcome you. Go have a look. Take care, my friends. God bless. And let's put an end to the government's nonsense, both Canada, U.S., and around the world. China is not an evil place. China is not a place where they repress their citizens. I mean, yeah, there's things they can't do and things they can't say. But they live a healthy and prosperous life there. It's different. Go see for yourself. Give me your feedback when you're done. I'm curious to know what you think. Take care, my friends. All the best.
Are you ready? All right. I'm sure that we have all experienced someone telling us when we talk about how bad it is here in America to go and see what the standard of living is in China. Well, we took your advice. I can guarantee this was not the outcome they were expecting. Did you know in China that 95% of their population own their homes? Did you know in China that they have almost completely eradicated homelessness? It is 0.18% if you want to be exact. Did you know in China that there are no credit checks or credit scores? Did you know in China that law school is under $800 a year? Did you know that the people in China thought it was made up that the children here in the United States, well, the ones that can afford it, need to purchase a bulletproof book bag? Did you know that the people in China think that it's so wild that us Americans feel like we are truly free because we have the right to have opinions, but we don't have the right to make any choices? Do you know that TikTok is banned in China? And if you let our government explain it, it's because China's a communist country and they want to control what you see and what you say. So America is following the footsteps of a communist country, but it's not against our First Amendment rights taking it away. Got it. You see, they like to demonize socialism and communism because it does not benefit the elite. Our government is saying that it's constitutional what they're doing here with TikTok. Do you want to know what else is constitutional? The right to protest our government. The Declaration of Independence states that Americans have the right to replace their government. We have a right to change or abolish a government that is destructive to our rights. Biden gets on TV and warns us that an oligarchy is forming. My friends, we are already in an oligarchy. The rich and elite already control everything. These are all things that we already know, but things like, oh, I don't know, TikTok put it into a visual perspective. America has quite literally gaslit us when it comes to everything. We are aware, and they do not want that. Our American government thinks that we are all stupid. Pretty much everything is public access. You just need to go look for it. Have you seen how many politicians have bought stock in Meta since this TikTok ban has started? Fucking wild. Did you know that between Zuckerberg, Bezos, and Musk, just those three men, that their net worth is almost $1 trillion? But we have over 40,000 veterans homeless on the street. Collectively, there are almost 700,000 homeless people in the United States. And did you know that there are almost 16 million vacant homes in the United States? Did you also know that over 50% of Americans are just one missed paycheck away from being on the streets? Did you know that they don't pay property taxes in China? So if they own their home and just so happen to lose their job, that is still their home until the day they die. Do you remember when I said that the American government likes to gaslight us? Yeah, they have gaslit us to actually thinking that we own our shit, but the reality of it is we lease that shit. So in America, if your home is paid in full and you just so happen to lose your job and you can't pay your property taxes, guess what? They will take your home. Point of my video is this, and I'm going to quote my friend Thorin. Right now, none of us need to be Republican or Democrat. Right now, we all need to be Americans. Knowledge is power, my friends, and division is a tool of the empire. Understand the power that we, the people, hold.
I really think America has made a huge mistake when banning this app, because now that we're all on Red Note, we're actually learning that a lot of the crap that they've been talking about China is absolutely not true. We're like, wait a second, you guys have universal healthcare? You don't have to pay for an ambulance when you get picked up to the hospital. You have amazing cars for very low prices. Huawei, the amazing phones they have, are also so much better than iPhones. And all of that is forbidden here. We cannot have any of that. Wait a second, you can walk at night outside and not be afraid? There's no mass unalivings in schools? What? What's that like? And I had someone comment on my Red Note being like, now that you're here, I hope you can see that we're not the beasts that, you know, your news made us seem to be. And I was like, we never thought you guys were. I feel like we always knew it was bullshit. And yeah, no country's perfect. There's a lot of issues everywhere in this world. But it's very interesting. We're learning much more, I think, than they wanted us to know. And I think that's not a very good idea for our government. Also, I'm shocked by how quickly people are picking up Mandarin. Like, I feel like you guys need to teach me, how do I do this as quickly as you? Because it's incredible. Like, Americans from Alabama are now speaking fluent Mandarin in like 3 days.
Americans flocking to Xiaohongshu or Little Red Book has been an incredibly eye-opening experience for so many of you. I've never been to China, but I've looked into the country and how it operates. I also know the differences. I actually know what the real differences are between the economic systems of capitalism, socialism, communism, and even other forms. Whereas a lot of American people don't know. There's a lot of US Red Scare propaganda against what communism is. And I'm not saying any government's perfect. I'm not romanticizing anything. But I think people are realizing some stuff, pretty fundamental shit. And also that our government does not care about American people. And that is also partially because Americans have a really fucked up culture where we don't care about each other. And it's deeply embedded in us, and it's something we have not abolished inside of us as individuals and in our societies. There's an aggressive crabs in a bucket mentality in this country. And there's also an aggressive amount of racism embedded in all of our systems. If it's inside of us, it's going to be inside of our legislation. And it showcases all the time. And if we keep pretending like it isn't, we're going to continue decaying. Why doesn't our government care about us? Our government is a reflection of us. They don't care about us because we don't care about us. We don't care about each other. We have a hard time caring about the planet collectively, about keeping our cities beautiful, clean, and safe in a real way, not in a way that's policing the fuck out of everybody. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. I really want us to win. I've been an organizer and an activist for over a decade, begging people to pay attention to shit, and it's hard to get people to care. I'm gonna do book lists for people to read because we really need to understand what's going on a fundamental level if we want real solutions to problems. Americans are struggling. We live in the wealthiest nation to ever exist in human history, yet Americans are struggling so aggressively across this nation. So please follow, because I'm going to post some books that I think Americans should read. I think that it should be what's going on with our country. You need to understand this shit at a fundamental level.
Say psych right now. What? I haven't even thought about retirement because my plan is just to die in the Amazon climate wars. What?
Seeing a lot of these videos where Americans are posting about how shitty stuff is here, and all these kind videos of people in China talking about how they didn't know, that they were given some propaganda about how not working hard enough, and they are realizing that a lot of that was not true, and that some of it was true. We have to pay for ambulances, and people go bankrupt because of medical bills, and student debt is a thing. So I wanted to share mine. We have 3 kids. We both have good jobs finally. We were self-employed for a long time. When my twins were born, I was working for $13.75 an hour at a co-op. Decided to go back to grad school when they were, probably less than a year old. I'm a therapist. My husband's an academic advisor. He works for a state school. And no matter how much money we make, it's never enough, right? We have $300,000 in student loan debt that we are never going to pay off. 2 years ago, we went bankrupt because of our medical bills and credit card bills that we had to use to survive, even with a little bit of help from family and friends, and even with an affordable rent. We don't own a house. We've never been able to buy a house, both because we could never save enough for a down payment. We could never prove enough income when we were self-employed. We couldn't afford any of the costs, and we didn't have great credit scores because we were paying stuff late all the time, picking between food and power bill, or the car payment, or the car insurance, or the phone bill, right? All of which you need to survive. And we don't even pay that much for our rent. We got really lucky. So that shit is real, and it's about to get a lot worse for most of us. With TikTok going away, people across the world aren't going to be able to see what's happening here as well. They're going to get the propaganda machine from the Trump administration. People are already kissing ass, softening stuff. The New York Times has been softening headlines. The Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos. I mean, we know all this, right? ABC paid a settlement they didn't have to pay. So I just want to tell everybody before we leave that, like, I'm with you and I love you, and
What do you think?
I don't really know. I don't really know what else. I don't know what else we're going to do next. Hang in there. Hopefully I'll see you some of the other places.
Guys, seriously, lovelies, this whole thing that is happening between, and colored people, red nose, and, realizing what people that looks like me is just, it's funny sometimes, and it's just so surprising. So it took an app to actually make you guys understand and agree to what people that looks like me have been trying to tell you guys for a very, very long time. It took an app. So there is this controversy all over the social platform. We all knew that TikTok want to be banned in the US, and it's not sitting well, for a lot of influencers, creators, because so many people have actually made ends meet through that platform. This sparked a lot of controversy all over the social platform, and people decided to go and search for another alternative, and which they found one which was also owned by, Chinese people. And now a lot of people are actually floating on that app just in case the TikTok ban takes an effect, and so many Americans actually floated, a lot of non-Americans floated, US, Europe, like the world. It was just something that is all over the social place. People were like beginning to know what Red Note is all about. And after all of these people floated and they saw the way at which, Chinese people, the way at which, the government treat them, so many of them actually, don't pay tax after you must have owned a home, which is something that is all over the world. Like, I don't even get it. After buying a home, after purchasing a home, you are meant to keep on paying tax. For what? And so many of them even saw that these people had, United Healthcare. A lot of them even have college, free college. So many of them don't have all this student loan, credit card, blah, blah, blah. And this got a lot of pink-colored people having emotional breakdown. Black people knew all about this. Black people, I think they are very good at reading so broadly, trying to make some research, because I've been going through my For You page and I never saw any black person trying to, oh my God, I'm so surprised. Oh my God. No, they don't have that reaction. All the reactions I saw from people that looks like me are like, oh, we told you so. So my own take is that, so it actually took an app to make these people agree to what we have been saying. Black people have been trying to make you guys understand that the way at which this system is running is not favorable. It might be favorable for you guys because of your privilege, but this is not how a system is supposed to be run. But you guys felt that because, I am not oppressed. Oh my God, at least I am privileged. I don't care about what you were saying. I don't care it at all. A lot of you actually ignore, even when people that look like me have been, yelling out, calling out, trying to make people understand. But pan-colored, Hispanic, Asian, and all of that, they were so ignored because they feel that these people complain a lot. Every other thing, they're just so oppressed. Like, before even the app, the election and the outcome of the election and aftermath of the election has actually made most of them to realize what people that look like me have been trying to say for a very long time. Then after that, Red Note, a lot of them flocked there. They saw the way at which these people are living. They saw their grocery shopping. They saw how much they make. They saw how they did their things. This is how the internet became a place of crying out loud, a place of, oh my God. Yesterday, I don't even know what to stage anymore. I see a lot of them crying, regret. Oh my God, I wasted my years. Like seriously, but this is what people that look like me have been trying to tell you guys. So it actually took app and other people that is not living with you guys to make you understand that this is the way at which your system is being run is not the way it was supposed to be. But you guys are just so blinded with the fact that, oh, our sisters said it. Reances blinded a lot of people, forgetting what was supposed to be. Like seriously, lovelies. A lot of regrets. So many of them are even planning to relocate, which is just so funny. You can't run away from your problems. You have to sit and fix your problems. You can't run away from it because even if you run away from that problem, it can never get solved. So the only thing you have to do, rather than coming out to cry, to regret, to, I think it's high time for you guys to stand up and march. The women's march, the whatever march, it actually should not be any form of a particular people march. It should be a pan-colored march because you guys are going to make different if you decide to speak out. They listen to you guys more than the minorities. That is just the truth. There is no need coming out to cry, oh my God, the government failed. Oh my God, we have been lied to. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it to fix? The only platform that gave a lot of people some kind of, monetary privilege, they also want to take it away from you guys. Because they want you guys to remain under their captivity with the pretense of, oh, we want to save your what? What are they trying to save? Like seriously. Now you guys should know that this is not longer a joke. It's no longer a joke. There's no point coming out crying. This is a time at which you have to pick up the courage, forget about rare and cis, forget about who is more privileged or not, and actually fight for your rights and the right of every other person you are concerned about. Like seriously. Anyway, lovelies, I like the outcome of all of the things that is going on. If it is, Red Note that's going to make you guys understand that the way at which things are run and not the way at which we're supposed to, even if they made it to look like it favors you guys the most, that is not a way to go. It's absolutely not a way to go. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So guys, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Leave a thought in the comment section and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. Thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.